Hi everyone, today we're finishing up our review of the consonant sound groupings. If you are working on implementing a sound wall or shifting your approach to teaching phonics, then this is a great review. We now understand that sound production and mouth formations are key to helping students link the phonemes, those sounds that they hear, to the graphemes, which are the letter representations of those spoken sounds. They also provide students and teachers with cues for error corrections. Explicitly teaching these to our students provides them with the knowledge and ability to analyze sounds in a deeper way. These articulatory gestures are grouped by stops, fricatives, nasals, affricates, liquids, glides, and combinations. You can find the whole series on my website or on my social media pages. Today we're going to be reviewing liquids, glides, and combinations on our consonant chart. So liquids are those sounds that seem to float in our mouth. They influence the vowels that come before them, and their pronunciation changes somewhat according to the surrounding sounds. So what are our liquid sounds? Well, we have L and R. When we make the L sound, we lift our tongue to the top of our mouth behind our teeth. L. The R sound is one that often poses difficulty for students and teachers alike. We want to make sure that we're producing this in its purest form and that it sounds different from combination vowel R, So some tips for producing the R sound. There's actually two different ways you can place your mouth, so you want to determine what's going to work best for you and your students. One way is to have students round their mouth and curl their tongue to the sides as they pull their tongue down and back. R. Sometimes I'll tell my students to make their mouth like they're blowing a kiss and then just relax it a little bit. Another way to produce the R sound is to have both sides of the tongue touching the top of the mouth and then the tongue retracting. That one's a little harder for me, so I use the other one. But you decide what works for you. The liquids can take some time to practice in isolation, but mouth formation and placement can assist. All right, glides are those sounds that have vowel-like qualities and they combine with vowels. They're almost always followed by a vowel, so like literally gliding into the vowel sound. When working on individual phonemes, we want to try to keep the vowel sound from the end of the sound production. So our glides are and yeah. Some programs will teach and as either voiced or unvoiced. Go with what your program teaches, but understand that there is a current shift in the American English right now where and are being produced the same way, both as voiced sounds. So decide what's going to work for you. Regardless of if you teach as a unvoiced sound or voiced sound, you want to round your lips. For the WH, we want to form the mouth the same way. Again, some programs are going to teach as voiced, some as unvoiced. You can help students identify the difference with the tissue. So if I'm saying the W sound, or right, my tissue doesn't move, right? But now watch. For that WH, right? The difference is that amount of air that we're expelling, okay? So our final glide is yeah. Oops, wait a minute, sorry. Yeah, right? All right, and we want to make sure that we're kind of smiling, pulling that tongue back from the roof of the mouth. Yeah. All right, and finally, we have two combinations. A combination is exactly that. We have two sounds that are coming together. We have the letter X, and some programs teach QU. So the phoneme for the letter X is made up of the two sounds X. We have an unvoiced stop K and an unvoiced fricative S, and they come together X. We're pulling that tongue to the back of our throat just to do the stop or kicking out the air, and then we're moving to a smiling hissing sound as we release that air. QU in English is a reliable spelling pattern and is usually kept together. Many programs teach them as one sound unit, which again, follow your program, but just understand that QU is actually a combination of two sounds. We have some programs will teach it as unvoiced, some will teach Q, figure out what's going to work. But you just really want to make sure you're coming back to those mouth formations for our students, right? We always want to bring it back to the mouth features and checking that the sounds is matching up with how we're forming them in our mouth. So lots of practice activities, sounds in isolation within words, connecting to reading and spelling applications, right? All those are key. So I hope this little video helps with identifying those liquids, glides, and combinations. You can check out the entire series on my website or on Instagram TV. And if you'd like more tips and information about reading and dyslexia, be sure to follow, like, and get our newsletter at thedyslexiaclassroom.com.